Can I just ask for to elaborate a little bit on Ryan Pearce's injury and how it fits after Saturday, as much as you can tell me?
Yeah, I can't tell you much, to be honest. He wasn't in training today, not available this weekend, and hopefully have a bit more clarity when we're back in on Wednesday. But yeah, he's such a shame to not have him available after the performances he's put out. He's been so impressive for us the last couple of weeks. So fingers crossed it's not super serious, but like I said, we don't get clarity until probably Wednesday at the earliest.
Okay, cool. Obviously, you're fighting on two fronts, and traditionally you'd have to manage your squad around in between Champions Cup knockout games, but obviously you've a huge amount to play for the URC as well. What's the balance like? What can kind of fans expect going to Raven Hill this weekend in terms of personnel? Is it a mix and match? Is it whoever's around?
Yeah, it's definitely not a full rotation. I think we've got guys on kind of different programs as such. Some are just back for a few games, some have had a good 4-week stint, so there'll be a few players rotated around for sure. But like from a Leinster point of view, we're going to put out a strong squad where we've got a massive game against Ulster, who are ahead of us on the table. So we're putting out a strong squad. We're going up there to really challenge them and look for that performance that we haven't quite nailed the last few weeks. But really looking forward to it.
Continuity must be really important to you at this time of year, given how little you've had. And I think we've seen progression every week, which the attack in the second half was probably a sign that it's coming. Is that fair? How do you see it as well?
Yeah, I think the lack of continuity so far in the season has definitely hampered that. But whether the guys are playing or not, having them in on the training pitch and getting that consistent messaging, we're just working on our game. Whether the players are selected or not selected, we're just nailing down on what we do well. And we weren't accurate on the weekend, especially in point scoring kind of positions. But like you say, I think the attack's definitely clicking more. We're looking threatening off the counter attack or turnover attack. We're able to apply pressure with ball in hand, and then we just need to be more accurate, especially at those critical times. I think we're just letting teams off the hook the last few weeks.
Accuracy, when Leinster have been at their best over the last, as long as I can remember, nearly, accuracy has been almost a point of difference for the club. Why do you think it's been missing in these games in the last while, and how easy is it to fix when it's not there?
Yeah, it's a real mix of errors. If you look into it, it's maybe someone losing the ball in contact, or a loose placement, or just a clean drop. So the errors are not just one thing, So I think we're also trying to expand our game, and we're not, being conservative. So we don't want to just reduce errors, but then our game becomes more conservative, more predictable. So it's finding that balance, and like you're talking about the continuity and having our squad around with us consistently now. I think that's where we can really drill that down. And at the end of the day, we just got to make good decisions and have high quality skill sets in the moment. So it's they're not big fixes, but there's kind of more than a few little things that are happening, creating those turnovers from variety of players at a variety of errors. It's not just one big thing, but like you say, we don't want to become more conservative just to reduce errors. But as the games go on this season, they become more and more important. So accuracy will matter.
Let's ask you about your old position, as I think I always do when I'm talking to you, but Harry's gone so well the last 2 weeks. It's really been two mature performances from him, brilliant goal kicking as well. So are you seeing kind of the player that you knew you had in training kind of fulfill his potential out there a little bit?
He's been really impressive, and he's playing with confidence. I think the guys around him are playing well off him. He's kicking the ball well. So yeah, like you say, the potential is always there. He's definitely maturing as a player, and he's performing well. So I think he's enjoying his rugby at the moment, for sure.
And how has Sam responded to the last 2 weeks? I'm sure he's been disappointed, but have you seen good things in training, and how important could he be even in this run-in, regardless of the fact that he hasn't played the last 2 games?
Yeah, again, it's a whole squad effort, and Sam, for sure, he's a competitor, so disappointed not to be making the matchday squad. But his response, the way he's driven the week for the opposition team, he's been really mature around that, and I think he's just been able to focus on his own game and how he's training, and he's looked to enjoy his time on the pitch, training against the matchday squad. So he's definitely got a massive part to play for us for the season.
And just last one for me, Kieran was obviously the other player, and there's a scenario where if he's on the bench, you may have to come in early to a huge game in the next couple of weeks. Do you need to get him minutes at 10 in one of these next couple of weeks just to have him ready? Because he's obviously covered so many different positions across the season. How important will it be to get him sometime there in the next couple of weeks to have him ready? Or do you think he's just so good at covering across that he could slot in regardless of the lack of maybe exposure there at that position?
Yeah, I mean, it's just not possible to get 3 quality 10s full games if you want to build that continuity, I think. So it'd be realistic for Frills to pick up a few minutes here and there. I'm not sure what the plan is in the coming weeks, but I have full confidence that he could come on and after minute 1 and play a top quality game as a 10. So he's very diligent. He'll know his detail. He's got the skill sets, and I think there's a bit of trust that he can perform because he's been involved. He's training a lot. He's covered a lot of positions, but he's still got that natural instinct as a 10, and we would have full confidence if he came in.
Hi Tyler.
Hiya.
Just across the URC and even Ireland camp, the Ulster players, they've been really hailing Mark Sexton. What have you made of Ulster's attack so far this season?
Yeah, I think it looks very cohesive and aligned. I think it's balanced out with a good kicking game as well. So I'd describe their backline as quite big, quite powerful, with good speed, and I think they play to their backs a lot. And it's not necessarily trying to play teams and break teams down with structures. Often give the ball to good athletes with time and space, and they're happy to play off each other. So definitely a big threat for us. And I was talking about our inaccuracies earlier on. Like if you're going to give Ulster turnover ball or kick loosely, then they're a really dangerous team, something we need to look out for.